Welcome to Heal, Educate, Motivate, bringing to you a panel of friends who discuss about everyday life.
Hi guys, we're back, and the last topic we touched on is passive aggressive. Any other further thoughts on this topic?
What I want to know is, when we say passive aggressive, how does that relate to decisions?
It's, I think, when you don't have the power and you're powerless to make actual decisions to get you out of situations you don't want to, you become passive aggressive. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Like it's usually like you get like the kids who are passive aggressive towards their parents because they disagree with their parents, but they don't have any real power to change that. And that can develop into a habit, like become an unconscious thing, and that's like not helpful for your personal growth.
In my opinion, in this concept that we're touching on is rather decision, it's the power of choice. So the person that's passive aggressive naturally, they can easily choose to be open and loving and express themselves and explain why they're feeling in that situation that they are. And if that's reciprocated, and if that's reciprocated, if that's done genuinely, therefore they can easily take you out of that very, very destructive passive aggressive state. Okay, next one. Okay, Arnold, go for it. Read it up.
Okay, here we're going to talk about long-term plans and decisions.
Ooh.
General, how people do them. Is it easy? How often? The frequency? Or how often do people do them? Or like the Chinese Communist Party, right? They have 5-year plans, and a lot of people have like these saying 5-year plans. What do you want to be in 15 years?
What are you being in 20 years time?
Yeah, pretty much, right.
Yes, I've actually heard a couple of concepts about the plans. Like when the younger they are, the younger we are, we can tend to be like on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis, you know. And some people, they can think like in 1 year or 2 year or 3, or like mortgages or a financial planning based on time periods. Berms, what do you think, buddy?
Well, definitely
Plans and decisions
and plans, they're long term. Some decisions require a lot of thought and consideration, because it can affect things in the long term.
Sure.
So it's not a small decision that you're making.
So I'll ask you a question, Burbs. All right. How long of period of time do you feel is a long-term plan?
Long-term plan.
At your experience, this is you. I'm asking you personally.
Well, I don't necessarily make a lot of long-term decisions or plans. Kind of live in the moment and just do how I feel. So,
Okay.
I know I don't really can look too
It's
forward.
beautiful. Thank you for your honesty, because a lot of people out there are in the same boat too. You know what I mean? How about you, Arnold? What time period do you feel like it comes to a long-term plan?
Don't know. I think anything longer than maybe 2-3 years would be considered long term, definitely, for sure.
Sure.
Depends on the thing as well, how important it is.
Like that trip you want to take on the cruiser or travel overseas or something?
Yeah, like you say, I want to take a holiday next year for a cruise. Even that, for some people, even me, would consider to be a fairly long-term plan. It's like I guess I'm not a super patient person, so it can.
Oh, I love if you can relate. Oh, definitely. I mean, for me, financially, right now I put myself in a situation where I have a plan for 2 years, and that was the most long-term plan I've ever done so far in my life. There was a financial thing, and like normally I live day to day. I wing it. I enjoy my day. I just take each day as it comes, just be happy and do what makes me feel good, and that's what I do. But the opposite of this one here was the number 6, short-term. Short-term plans. Number 6. Number 5 was long-term plans, right, and decisions. And number 6 is short-term
Well, like with that, it's mostly decisions you make, and often emergencies. It's like you
instant decisions.
Instant
Decisions.
making. Yeah,
Last minute decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times people, there's a word, procrastination. Procrastinate. They know about something they need to decide about for a long time, but they can't make it, the right choice straight away. So they might go ahead and do other things in the meantime, and wait till the last moment before your decision is due, and then just maybe even flip a coin. What do you think?
I know a friend that flips the coin.
Flips the coin.
So pretty much.
Heads or tails?
I mean, like, let's take it away from something from seriousness of life, of the long-term, short-term plans, and let's put it to the decision of buying items, materialism, buying things. When you buy something, right? Do you save up and then buy it, or do you just get finance and buy straight away? Or Arnold, what do you think?
I guess I've been lucky that I'm born in not exactly a super poor family. Like, we're not rich, but we're not poor. So I had the luxury to not take on debts, because for me, like, any debt you take is something not just you have to pay back later, but there's also interest, right? So I'd rather pay, I guess, less amount by just paying upfront for most things. And I'm not like a person who wants a lot of things, so it tends to not happen very often. I won't take on finance or ever.
Berms, you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, when it comes to,
Buying stuff.
Buying stuff,
Yeah.
I don't really consider, like, I probably do make a lot of financial decisions that are long term, but I don't think about it much if I really want it or need it. It's just do whatever you can to get it, and you get it.
Sure.
That's how I do it.
Okay. Okay. That's plans 5 and 6 are summed up.
I just want
you want to say anything else, Arnold?
because I think we can look at it as like some people are better doing long-term plans, some people are better doing short-term plans. Like, look at a lot of sports stars, right? Like Ronaldinho, famous soccer player. He's a genius. He's like absolutely brilliant football player. Like, makes very good short-term decisions in the moment. But he, I think he's really like not even rich anymore because he spent all his money, and that's really bad at long-term plans. It's like, can a person be good at both? I can think of one person, like
Skill. It's money habits and money discipline.
yeah,
and money.
like Roger Federer. He's a person that invests very well into his sponsors, but he's also very good at short-term decision making. A very smart and competent tennis player. So it is something that we can strive to do both, and what will we take to develop those skills in both long-term planning and short-term planning skills? Should we diversify our just exposure to opportunities to do that? For example, if you like a really good business decision maker, like you're working in finance or something as a financial analyst, can you also go every Friday night to a local sports team, play some sports, to develop your short-term decision skills?
Yeah, I mean, I could piggyback. We have people that save, and we have people that invest, and then we have people that play the poker machines. The poker machines. So yeah, so that's that's kind of like a short-term decision. They go to the pubs or whatever, and they play the poker machines, waiting for that instant release of dopamine and the reward of earning, or not earning, probably like winning, lucky, or whatever. But yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Ready? Berms, ready?
Yeah. So on number 7,
go for it, Berms.
we have critical thinking. So you're looking at, when you make a decision, looking at it critically.
Is the decision based on logic or emotion? Is that what you guys are trying to say? Critical thinking?
Well, depends on the factor. It can involve both, but mostly I would say it's a logical thing, right? You try to consider the long-term benefits instead of short-term emotional gain. Well, it could be both. You'll be which movie do you want to see? But usually those things aren't very critical. You just I feel like
emotional choice. Emotional choice.
Yeah, but I think most long-term decisions would require some critical thinking, even though the reward might be emotional. So, a lot of girls say, I want to be married when I'm like 28. And like, you still have to think about it. But a lot of people don't know how to think about it, how to critically think about it and plan their life to that point.
Burms, what do you think?
Critical thinking, yeah.
Critical thinking.
Even at the beginning
Logical
of
thinking.
brainstorming this podcast, I was thinking, decisions. What can we talk about with decision making? Then I thought, okay, let's break it down.
Do you make emotional choices or do you make logical choices? I think do you make emotional thinking, or is it mostly logical thinking, or emotional or logical? That's the only way I can relate it to critical thinking. But yeah, I have an analogy. I love driving. I enjoy driving cars and stuff. And so when they drive, they do a logical assessment, a risk analysis when they drive on the roads. And they make these, they know when or how to make a certain turn, or when to push for the accelerator, when to indicate, etc., etc. And but if you're like an emotional driver and you're driving, you're going to get spooked at every single car that's next to you. You see, and I'm not being sexist here. Like, women are very maternal and intuitive and all that sort of stuff. So women tend to be a little bit hesitant when they drive. Because they get the emotional drive that kicks in, and males are more logical because they just go like straight, just did 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not being sexist here, but that's one type of expression I can give of critical thinking and emotional thinking.
Excellent. Does anyone else have anything to add to that?
No.
I think one thing that can come in here is context. So critical thinking, you had to have experience, right, to be able to critically think. Sometimes you can't, like, for example, you don't know what you don't know, and that's base. You want to convert some of that into you don't know, and slowly convert that into gradually to expand your horizon and knowledge.
Experience takes the next level.
Yeah, through experience.
And that's investigating the unknown as well. Because if you don't know the next stage of what's going to happen, you're going to have to make a choice or a decision to explore it or withhold it.
Yeah, like be adventurous, but also be aware at the same time. I think that's the thing where people talk about how like some people don't take risks, but there's a reward in taking risks and being adventurous. It's like, even though you might get yourself into more trouble, but you also develop more knowledge into how to deal with those situations.
That's correct. I absolutely believe that, Arnold. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Next one. All right, Arnold. Number 8.
Willpower and discipline.
Willpower and discipline. Burms? Willpower and discipline. What do you think? Willpower and discipline. Willpower and discipline. Oh, interesting.
Sometimes the decisions that we make require us to, assert. That's the word I'm looking for. Assert a certain amount of willpower to. Some people are prepared to take that time and like to make that decision. Whether they trust themselves, it's just a matter of trust. Whether they trust themselves, whether they're gonna,
brilliant,
be follow through with that willpower and stick with the decision. It's very hard for some people, especially me, I think.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty honest with myself, and I know, like, sometimes I don't have the willpower to go through with that, and I'll just decide, okay, I'm just gonna, I won't be able to have the final alternative to this.
Okay. So willpower and discipline, like, so you were speaking about whether you have the strength to actually make the choice, the willpower and discipline. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because some decisions, like you say, okay, I'm gonna stop smoking, right? All right. That requires the willpower and discipline to follow through with it. You can still make the choice, but the choice is going to require you to actually live up to that choice, right?
Yeah.
And to come back to it, even if you fall off the wagon, you still need to
Jump back on.
right?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the second part of The Power of Decisions. Currently, our audios are going longer than 15 minutes, usually half an hour to a few hours. So what I decided to do is chop it up for you. I would like to invite you to the next section of The Power of Decisions, the following part 2B.
Thank you for listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment your questions below. Stay tuned.